Good morning. Welcome everybody to our virtual service for the Unitarian Church of Hinsdale. We are all so glad you're here. I'm going to start with just a quiet Sabbath invitation from the Reverend John Gibb Millspaugh. Leave aside the little thoughts that distract you from the depths of your soul, for this is a holy place, and now is a holy time. Join with others in this room, in your room, in all of our rooms virtually. This community of seekers, this community of people who are looking for questions.
We promise to listen and learn together with compassion, curiosity, and an open mind. Engage in creating a warm and welcoming community, work together and beyond our walls to address social and environmental challenges, and with our time, talent, and treasure, support our church and its mission.
Thank you, Ashley. And good morning. It's so good to be with you this morning. I wish I could see all of your smiling faces. My name is Pam Romancic. I am a queer cisgendered woman whose pronouns are she and hers. And I'm joining you on this spring Sunday morning, hoping that each of us can find a place of grace and holiness and maybe stillness in the midst of our lives, in the midst of our own safe spaces. We have an amazing team of folks today who've helped us get online, and I'd like to say a special thanks to Suzanne Williams, Jean Schaefer, and Ashley Kennedy, who is doing double duty today as our worship associate. Also, thank you to Pam Fodor, who's going to be sharing her wisdom, Jamie Passman, and those amazing Tepamas, Jeff and Sarah, who will help us keep the music flowing this morning. Just a few reminders, the church office remains closed for the next bit of time, but Linda, Pam, and I can be reached through our regular email addresses. We'll be calling in to check our phone messages occasionally, but the quickest way to get to us is to email or to call our cell phones. You all have your directories that were mailed out when you got your pledge drive letters, so hopefully we'll be able to connect easily. We also have a number of ways that are growing that we can connect with one another, each other throughout the week. I'm setting up a virtual space on Fridays from noon to 1 so that folks can drop in on Zoom and just share virtual lunch with me. There's a link in news and notes and on our website that can show you how to do that. And if you are willing to set up time to meet virtually with some of your fellow church members, please contact Linda and find an empty time slot, and we'll help you get the word out, and she'll help you know how to join that. Now we're going to say this a couple times because it's so important. Please, please, please do not hesitate to let us know if you are in trouble, if you need some help, if you need some support. We can't help if we don't know what's going on. And it's going to be very important that we stay connected in order to be able to get through this and emerge all of us together on the other side. We're hoping it may turn out to be a blessing that strengthens relationships and opens each of us to a deeper understanding of just how connected we really are. Now, I'm going to invite you to stand if you're willing, to rise in spirit or body, to join in singing our opening song, Wake Now My Senses. Sarah and Jeff Tepama are going to lead us in singing 2 verses.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise sublime.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I'm going to invite Pam Fodor to now come on and bring us her bit of wisdom for a Sunday morning.
Today, I'm going to share a guided meditation. So I invite you now to close your eyes and get very still and quiet. It is very dark. See the blackness. Now feel the love inside you. This love is like a light. Feel the love and this light deep inside your heart. Now imagine this light making a giant crack in the darkness. The darkness is turning into sunshine and it is bursting from you. Know that you can bring sunshine to people who are sad or lonely or afraid. You can bring this sunshine by sharing your love. As you open your eyes, think about something you can do to share your sunshiny love with others. All throughout the world, people are sharing their sunshine with one another by singing on balconies, leaving notes for delivery people, putting up pictures in their windows, or writing messages of encouragement on sidewalks with chalk. I challenge you this week to find a way to share your love with your community. If you would like, post a picture of what you are doing on our Facebook page or the UCH Families Facebook page, or email me a photo. Not only would I love to see your smiling faces, but we can then share and spread the love of joy through our actions. Take care of one another and be well.
Thanks so much, Pam. We really appreciate that. I'm going to invite us just to go a little bit deeper right now. If you have an extra candle in your house, go ahead and light that with the intentions that are weighing or dancing on your heart this morning. And you can share anything that you might be thinking about in our chat box so that we can know what you are carrying, what is weighing on you, or what you're celebrating this morning. As you go ahead and do that, I'm going to take just a moment to offer a deep breath in, a deep breath out, letting go, a breathing in of the love that is so available to us in every moment. We know that each of us come from different houses, different places, different rooms, that some of us are feeling bored and lonely and tired of looking at the 4 rooms around us, that some of us are feeling overwhelmed by all the things that still need to be done in a time when we're not quite sure how to do it. We know that some of us are maybe struggling with illness and being afraid that the virus has already found its way into our lives. And some of us are worrying about loved ones and afraid for what might happen. Each and every one of us can sit in this moment, can breathe deeply into the now. This breath is what we have in this moment. This breath, this heartbeat, this connection to people all throughout the area who love us, who care for us, and who are sending goodwill in this moment. Send your goodwill out into your community, out into our community, out into this world that needs it so much. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And now join in singing Spirit of Life. so much, Jamie. We're going to now invite Ashley to do our first reading this morning. Thanks, Ashley.
Last Friday, Mary Vasquez of Mary's Morning Mix-Up in Brookfield was truly shaken. After a couple of shaky days delivering orders and selling takeout, she shut down operations and wasn't sure what was going to happen next. She warily opened her doors again over the weekend, wondering if the response would be any better. On Monday night, she sent the Landmark a Facebook message expressing nothing but joy, just checking in to say what an amazing community we live in. Everybody came out and supported me in any way they possibly could. Some bought breakfast, some just came and bought cinnamon rolls, some people just stopped in to buy some desserts. It's unbelievable the support we have in this community. I'm so proud to be in Brookfield, and everybody is just so amazing. Love you all. We will all survive. This ends the reading.
Thank you, Ashley. And now we're going to have an offering anthem by Leonard Cohen. Here's Jeff Tefla.
The birds they sang at the break of day. Start again, I heard them say. Don't dwell on what has passed away. What is yet to be? Yeah, the wars they will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be caught again. Bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bells, still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's where the light gets in. We asked for signs and the signs were sent. The birth betrayed and the marriage spent. Yeah, the widowhood of every government. Signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd, while the killers in high places say their prayers out loud. But they've summoned up the thundercloud. They're gonna hear from me. Ring the bell, it still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can add up the parts, you won't have it so. You can strike up the march, there is no drum. Every heart's in love will come, but like a refugee.
Thank you so much, Jeff. That was so beautiful. We lost a deep soul when Leonard Cohen died a few years back, and I'm so grateful for that beautiful rendition. Cohen was able to see the world and share his vision in a way that managed to both hold what was hard and terrible and awful and hold it in a way that could also find the hope. He celebrated the whole of our humanity, even the parts that some of us might want to ignore. Towards the end of the anthem, he writes, "You can add up the parts, but you won't have a sum. You can strike up a march, but there is no drum. Every heart, to love will come, but like a refugee. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in." We have lived for a long time with the illusion that there was a perfect offering, that there was a right way to be in the world that would keep one safe, that would make life be the way you want it to be. But the world we are in right now has cracked that illusion wide open. We are watching so very much bad news. Numbers of people who are growing ill exponentially, numbers of people who are dying. We're adding up the parts, gathering the information, but there is no sum. We still don't really know what is happening. And we can try to march, but we are having a lot of trouble finding that common drumbeat so that we can all move together. Cohen writes that every heart to love will come, like a refugee. Every heart to love will come, but like someone chased out of their home, lost and wandering and in a strange landscape. That feels so real to me right now, because I have to say that I have felt like I am moving through a fog where there are no landmarks, no signposts telling me what I should be doing, where I can go, no history that can give me an idea of what the future will look like. Cohen's words echo what many of us are experiencing. Many wealthy, more comfortable, more self-sufficient folks in this country have been feeling that we can take care of ourselves. We've been able to focus only on what's going on with us. We've been able to maybe not pay attention so closely to the people who are on the margins and leave them on their own, figuring if we can take care of ourselves, they can take care of them. You know, we are each in our own silos sometimes. Some of us that have a lot of resources have convinced ourselves that we are self-made. We have pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps. We can do it all on our own. And the divide between rich and poor, between wealthy and not, was the result of the world working exactly as it should, even though poor people, especially Black and brown people, were left and were not included in an us that should include all of us. Except for right now, that's changed. This virus does not respect power or wealth or fame. It doesn't pay attention to skin color. Tom Hanks, Prince Charles, Boris Johnson, people very separate from the regular folks, and yet connected now by the threat of this non-discriminating killer. We are in a new and hard place. People we know and love will get this disease. Some we know and love may die. The numbers are horrific, and exponential growth is not our friend in this particular instance. The reality we've come to think is so important, so real, is now making way for a new reality, one where we suddenly see starkly that we are all one human family, one human race. Divisions which have seemed so important have faded, at least momentarily for many of us. We have all arrived on this unknown landscape with no clarity about what comes next. And I have to admit that these recent gray days have seemed particularly appropriate. I'm feeling a little lost. There is a crack, a really big, really scary, real all-encompassing crack in my reality right now, in all of our reality right now. I'm going to ask you this morning, what have you seen streaming through? Remember a quote by Mr. Rogers that his mother told him that when things were really bad and scary, to always look for the helpers. for the people who showed up, who rolled up their sleeves and pitched in to make it a little bit better. We're not showing up physically right now. But you know what? We can still see the helpers whenever we look. In this reality, they come in all stripes and shapes and colors. They can be the folks that you've read about or heard about serenading their neighbors or leading jumping jacks for apartment buildings over in Italy. But they can be so much closer. They can be like up in Evanston, where folks have started stocking, you know, those little neighborhood libraries that are on street corners. People have started putting bottled water and food out there for people in need. We can even look closer still. In our daily walks, Karen and I have been buoyed by the generosity and creativity of our neighbors. Children's pictures decorate many windows, sharing their creativity, their joy with all passersby. There was one, the family member had all the family members' portraits in the window, and it was just up the street from us. And there's another one that says, "Be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud." It's good advice at any time, right? And there was another corner right around from us. There was a bunch of birthday wishes that were put up outside on a special day that could not be celebrated together. I have a good friend who's a mail carrier back in Ohio, and they sent me this picture of what they found while doing their route. Children who had decorated the mailbox and said, "Hero, thank you." It really brightened their day. I've also seen on chat lines people saying that we're on signs saying thank you to their healthcare providers to recognize their heroism. Signs that people put outside just saying thank you. And you know, skimming through the internet, I found stories of grocers who were helping elderly get groceries at different times and by just sending it out. And another really sweet story of a man serenading his mom and her friends and neighbors in a senior living facility when no one was allowed to go visit. So many stories of people showing up, like in Brookfield for Mary's Morning Mix-Up. People remembering that even when we're apart, we can still care for our neighbors. We can still make sure the people around us are okay. This weekend, we opened our mail and found this delightful missive. I suspect maybe a few of you out there may have gotten one. It was unsigned, but it was surely a bit of light on a dark, rainy day. And so we put that on our front window so people walking by can feel the love. People are remembering that we are in this together, that our neighbors are suffering, that each person is a person, that each of us has the ability to offer our own bit of light to shine through these tremendous cracks. Today, earlier this week, someone shared this next video with me and it gave me a lot of joy. So we're sharing it with you this morning. It's a compilation created by the students at the Berklee School of Music. An oldie but goodie. If we can't get it to work, we can just go on and we'll post it online so you can find it yourself later. That's fine. It's a beautiful gathering of all of the students singing that old Burt Bacharach tune, "What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love." And I doubt if any of it would have gotten made if these students were all still in school together, if they were not home social isolating. It's a bit of art that would never have occurred without this tremendous crack in the world as we know it. Now, I'm not saying this pandemic is a good or that it's a blessing or that I am ignoring the pain and suffering, the anxiety and the fear that so many are experiencing right now. I am saying that this crack is offering us a chance to reclaim who we want to be. It's a chance to reclaim our humanity, the people we've always wanted to be but felt too busy or stretched or overwhelmed to step into. Having some time has allowed many of us to think about the people around us in new ways, to think about how we might support the more vulnerable people in our midst. I found this one story telling about a young man who realized that he was healthy and had some resources. So he posted a form online via Twitter and Facebook. He wasn't sure if he'd get any takers, but he figured it couldn't hurt. The form asked if anybody needed help. And you know what happened? He was totally overwhelmed with responses, with folks saying, yes, thank you, I need help. So much so that it was way more than he had the ability to answer. But you know what? He also got a swarm of responses from people saying, let me help too. And together they set up a network of people helping all of the people in their own neighborhoods. And this form itself has gone viral in the good way. And people throughout Britain and Canada and the United States are posting it or putting it in their neighbors' mailboxes, or just sharing it and saying, how can I help you? Let me help. People are shining through the cracks, responding to the real needs in the worlds around them, helping others get through this crisis. We are all in this together, even as we acknowledge that some folks have a much harder experience than others. I will admit right now, I'm struggling a bit as your minister because I believe that my job is to try and make sense of the world from a spiritual perspective. Most of the time, it's fun to be able to play with ideas and turn them over and see what might be underneath or behind or around. Right now, I feel like I'm at 6s and 7s too. What should I be doing? To whom am I responsible? What is my role when I can't see folks that I want to see every day? I have been praying. I've been meditating more often. I've been walking and listening to the world around me. I've been listening and paying attention to the gifts of joy my neighbors have offered and to the heroism that is on display every day out in the world around us. What can we do together? We can continue to be church, continue to be that place, even virtually, that offers love and support and grace to the world around us. Like I said earlier, we have a couple of different virtual groups that have started. And this week, I'm going to be launching my Lunch with the Minister space on Friday. From noon to 1, I'll hang out I'll put the link out and I'll get my salad and I'll hang out. And any of you who want to click on that link and use the notes, drop by and just say hi. Tell me how you're doing. And if you have some time and you're willing to host a virtual check-in or conversation, we have a grid on our website on the What's Happening page that tells you when the Zoom link is being used and what times are open. So pick a time that works for you. Contact Linda Liberaki in the office and get the information you need. We'll help you share that with folks, or you can simply send it out and invite them yourself. Sometimes it's so nice just to see the people you're talking to see their faces, to have that wide conversation. But you know what? Low tech works just as well. Make a phone call, send a card. Some of you may want to post it like the young man did and offer your help. But if all of this is just too much, if the thing that you can do to bring light into the world is to simply go outside and find where spring is popping out, then do that. Look out your window. Look at the trees budding. Look at the flowers growing. Here are some crocuses that we found in the last 2 weeks. Last week when they were covered with snow, and then yesterday when they were shining out with all their glory. It feels like everything has changed, like a deep fog is blanketing the way that we are living, and that feels scary. But remember, we are not lost. We are where we have always been. The light streaming through the universe, the love streaming through our lives has always been there and is there now, is all around us. But right now, we have a moment to pause, to watch it shine through the cracks, to offer our own bit of love and light in a world that is united in its need. I am so grateful that Jeff has been willing to share his light, and he's going to be singing a little bit about that right now. In what light I will go. For the rest of you, amen, and blessed be. You are loved.
just paint what you see. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. And if you're strung out like a kite, or some awake in the night, it's alright to be bright when there's a light. What light? There's a light. One light. There's a light. White light inside of you. If you think you might need somebody to pick you up when you drag, don't lose sight of yourself. Don't let anyone change your mind. And if the whole world's singing your songs and all your meanings have been hung, just remember what was yours is everyone's from now on. And that's not wrong or right, but you can struggle with it all you like. But only get uptight because there's a light. What light? There's a light. One light. There's a light. White light inside of you. There's a light. White light. There's a light. One light. There's a light. White light. There's a light. White light. There's a light. One light. There's a light. White light. There's a light. One light. There's a light. One light. There's a light. White light inside of you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. That was just amazing. There's a white light inside of each and every one of us. Now, we may be home in our jammies and not church, so there is no basket to pass. And still, I invite you to say our offering words together. And remember, it's true that we support each other close or together. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, and the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with the people around us, and with all the world. This church is only made up of us. I'm going to ask you now if it is at all possible, with all the uncertainty and ambiguity in the world, to continue supporting its work. There is a donate button on the front page of our website, which takes you to the donate page. If you can give some amount to the work of this community, we are immensely grateful. I want to thank also everyone who has already sent in your pledge. You are amazing. But if you haven't yet, please do email or send it to the church office as soon as you can. If you're not quite sure what's going on with your finances, you are welcome to contact me or a board member and just share what's going on. Because even in the midst of all this ambiguity and uncertainty, we do have to have some number in order to create next year's budget. We have to know where we stand in order to plan correctly. So if you can't pledge, tell us that too, so we at least know where we are. One person said to me that they were thinking about those government checks that were going to be coming soon, and that they felt like they were blessed and didn't really need that check. So they were going to give it away, and they were going to split it between the church, thank you, and some other person that they knew who was in need. So if you need help, please, please, please let us know. And we can help donors connect anonymously with folks who have lost their livelihoods and are struggling because of this tremendous crisis. We also have an emergency relief fund that is available for anyone in need. It's not that big, but it is there. So please contact me, contact the church. Let us know how we can help you. We also have quite a few bags of groceries that were collected before this got so crazy. So we know there's no virus in them right now. So if you need some groceries, let us know and we can come and drop them off on your porch. This church is here for all of our members. I'm gonna pass it over to Ashley, who has a beautiful reading to share with us.
The church is not a place, it is a people. The church is not only a steeple above the tree line, streets, and cars. Rather, it is a people proclaiming to the world that we are here for the work of healing and of justice. The church is not walls built upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person, all ages and genders and abilities, a community built on the foundation of reason, faith, and love. The church is not just a set of doors open on Sunday morning, but the commitment day after day and moment after moment of our hearts creaking open the doors of welcome to the possibility of new experience and radical welcome. The church is not simply a building, a steeple, a pew. The church is the gathering together of all the people and experiences and fear and love and hope in our resilient hearts, gathering however we can to say to the world, welcome, come in, lay down your heartache and pick up hope and love. For the church is us, each and every one of us, together a beacon of hope to this world that so sorely needs it. Thus ends the reading.
And we're going to invite everyone to sing This Little Light of Mine with Sarah and Jeff Tepma. I think we're doing 3 verses.
Yeah, let's do it. Hi, everyone. Get your shakers out. Ready? 1. Oh, are you in G? All right, so am I. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you. That was fabulous. I hope you all had a great time singing back at home. We're now going to extinguish our chalice, and I have some words to read as we do that. They're words to a poem called And the People Stayed Home by Kitty O'Meara in Madison, Wisconsin. And it's going around the internet saying it was written in 1819 or 1918 or some other time, but it wasn't. It was written in 2020, and it's still a beautiful poem. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and worked out and made art and played and learned new ways to be. And it stopped. And they listened deeper. Someone meditated, some of them prayed, some danced, someone came across their own shadow, and people started thinking differently. And people healed. And in the absence of people who lived ignorantly, dangerous, no sense, and heartless, even the earth began to heal. And when the danger ended and people met again, they cried for the dead, and they made new decisions, and they dreamed new visions, and they created new life forms, and they healed the earth completely, just as they were healed. Thus ends the reading. I'm going to invite you to say your closing words as we extinguish our chalice now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. Now we have some fun pictures for you to watch as Jamie gives us a beautiful ending music. Thank you, Jamie. Remember now, shine your light through all the cracks that you can find. You are the light this world needs. You are the love, always present, always bright. You are love. Go forth and enjoy your afternoon. Stay online, and I think you'll be able to talk to each other. And it is so good to be able to be with you virtually this morning, and I can't wait to see you again when we can all gather once more in person. Bye-bye.